This is Mac OS Ken.
Apple TV Award nominations, new series announced, and stepping into your favorite shows. It is an all Apple TV Friday, the 17th of April, 2026. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Clean My Mac, keeping Macs running smoothly since 2008. Try 7 days free and use my code MacOSKen20 for 20% off at clnmy.com/MacOSKen. This show is also sponsored by OneSkin, a new standard for your skin. I have an issue, a skin issue. My face gets dry and flaky, especially my brow and the bridge of my nose. So I was super excited when OneSkin joined the show as a sponsor. I've been using the OS01 Face, an essential moisturizer, and part of their bestseller pack. And I gotta say, I am digging the results. I'm already seeing improvement and looking forward to seeing more. No scents, no colorants, no alcohols. It's built around their patented OS01 peptide, which targets cells that drive wrinkles, fine lines, and loss of elasticity. With more than 10,000 five-star reviews, regular OneSkin users consistently mention their smoother, firmer, healthier-looking skin. And I'm starting to see that already. It's a process, not a coat of paint. I'll tell you more as I go. In the meantime, you should go to oneskin.co/MacOSKen to check them out. With over a decade of research behind it, OneSkin's OS01 peptide is proven to target the visible signs of aging, helping you unlock your healthiest skin now and as you age. For a limited time, try OneSkin with 15% off using code MacOSKen at oneskin.co/MacOSKen. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code MacOSKen. They're going to ask you where you heard about them, by the way. Please tell them MacOSKen sent you. Try OneSkin now with 15% off using code MacOSKen at oneskin.co/MacOSKen. So much Apple TV stuff happened on the week that I took off. I've told you about some of what it was, but it's really just a sliver of what happened. Let's start with the never-ending parade of award nominations. 9 to 5 Mac ran a piece last week that had the Cupertino streamer's 6-part documentary about the Vietnam War, picking up 3 Emmy nominations. Last week, the piece says the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences announced the list of nominees for the 47th Annual News and Documentary Emmy Awards, set to take place on the 27th and 28th of May in New York City. I love that that's happening over 2 nights. Still, I feel like to really capture the thing, they should broadcast it in 12 parts with illustrations and reenactments of the event and no actual footage. And all Ken Burns effect all the time. Is that out of my system? We'll find out. Anyway, the show honored to be nominated is the Apple TV Docuseries Vietnam, the War That Changed America. Narrated by Ethan Hawke, 9 to 5 Mac says the docuseries showcases the reunion of old friends, first-person accounts, and rarely seen footage to paint an extraordinary and deeply profound picture of what it was like to live through one of history's longest wars. The show was nominated for 3 documentary Emmy Awards: Outstanding Historical Documentary, Outstanding Direction, and Outstanding Music Composition. All 3 of those awards will be handed out on the 28th of May. Interestingly, those were not the only awards for which Apple's Vietnam series was nominated last week. A piece from Apple Insider says Apple TV earned 5 nominations for the 86th Peabody Awards, and the Vietnam docuseries is among them. Wikipedia says the Peabody Awards honor what are described as the most powerful, enlightening, and invigorating stories in all of television, radio, and online media. Because of their academic affiliation and reputation for discernment, the awards are held in high esteem within the media industry. 5 of Apple TV's titles were nominated, as I say. They include 3 documentaries: Vietnam, The War That Changed America, Come See Me in the Good Light, and Mr. Scorsese. The kids' show Shape Island was nominated, as was Pluribus, in the category Entertainment. Winners will be announced next week, Thursday, the 23rd of April. They'll be celebrated at a ceremony in LA at the end of May. This is not the Cupertino streamer's first time at this particular rodeo. Apple TV titles that have won past Peabodys include the series Ted Lasso, Stillwater, Bad Sisters, Severance, and El Defo. The documentary feature Bread and Roses also picked up a Peabody last year. Apple TV and Brian Tyree Henry are working together again. 9 to 5 Mac ran a piece this week that had the actor signing on to the Apple Originals feature, Running. A piece from Deadline says the film follows a homeless high school running prodigy on the hunt for greatness as he uses his gifts to outrun his past and find a family. This will be the 3rd collaboration between Henry and Apple. He also starred with Jennifer Lawrence in the Apple Originals film Causeway, as well as the pulse-pounding drama series Dope Thief. Both of those titles earned the actor considerable notice. The series role earned him a lead actor Emmy nomination, while his Causeway turn led to a few award nominations, including an Oscar nom for Best Supporting Actor. As for the upcoming film, still early days. No word on whether it'll be in theaters nor when it might premiere. Just as nebulous as the feature are 2 new series in development for Apple TV. Back to last week we go when we find 9 to 5 Mac spilling the tea on the husband and a series treatment for the Bonfire of the Vanities. Based on a novel of the same name, The Husbands will star Ted Lasso's Juno Temple as a woman who finds herself surprised to be married. Like she comes home and finds a husband of whom she has no memory. He goes to the attic to change a light bulb and comes back a different person. Literally. And yet, this new guy is her husband. Realizing that her attic is creating an infinite supply of husbands, she wonders, if swapping lives is as easy as changing a light bulb, how do you know you've taken the right path? When do you stop trying to do better and just start actually living? It's like Sliding Doors meets Sliding Doors. As for the other series, The Bonfire of the Vanities is based on the Tom Wolfe novel of the same name. Wikipedia describes the 1987 novel as a drama about ambition, racism, social class, politics, and greed in 1980s New York City, centered on 3 main characters: WASP bond trader Sherman McCoy, Jewish assistant district attorney Larry Kramer, and British expat journalist Peter Fallow. It was made into a movie in 1990 starring Bruce Willis, Melanie Griffith, and Tom Hanks, and boy did it bomb. Rotten Tomatoes lists it with a 15% score from critics and a barely better 26% from audiences. Here's hoping for a better time this time around. TV powerhouse David E. Kelley is writing the series. The Batman and The Batman sequel director Matt Reeves will serve as director and executive producer. No word on a cast for that one, and no word on production schedules nor release plans for either series. We'll add some more current TV talk in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, Clean My Mac, keeping Macs running smoothly since 2008. When you're working on a project, a presentation, a podcast maybe, the last thing you want is friction. The promise of a Mac is it just works. But it's not magic. Care and maintenance can keep your Mac running its best, and Clean My Mac can take care of that care and maintenance. It starts by cleaning your Mac, getting rid of unneeded system files, hidden clutter, broken downloads, junk that's junking stuff up. But Clean My Mac does more than just clean. It is a suite of tools meant to optimize performance, scan for threats and vulnerabilities, update the apps you use, and ditch the apps you don't. Keeping your Mac clean is a huge part of keeping it humming. Let Clean My Mac help. Get tidy today. Try 7 days free and use my code MacOSKen20 for 20% off at clnmy.com/MacOSKen. Make MacOSKen all caps, both places. That way they know where you heard about it and you get the discount. Try 7 days free and use my code MacOSKen20 for 20% off at clnmy.com/MacOSKen. Again, MacOSKen is all caps, both places. Use code MacOSKen20 for 20% off at clnmy.com/MacOSKen. It's like I'm reliving the last couple of weeks of PaleyFest panels. News today about the Apple TV series Shrinking and Pluribus. We'll start with the latter and an unofficial production timeline. 9 to 5 Mac cites an interview from Screen Rant that had one of the show's stars leaking the deets. Carolina Widra, who plays Carol's love interest / hive mind ambassador Zosha, says they're going back to filming sometime in the fall. Assuming that's correct, 9 to 5 Mac figures that means a fall 2027 Season 2 premiere at the earliest. Remember how the Bill Lawrence Helm series Ted Lasso was only supposed to have 3 seasons and now it's coming back for a 4th? Yeah, it turns out same goes for the Bill Lawrence Helm series Shrinking. The day after I saw him speak at PaleyFest last week, he spoke to The Hollywood Reporter talking about what's ahead for the series. While they will tell a different story, it'll be the same characters and the same cast. It could go as far as 6 seasons, though 5 seems a safe bet. A year or 2 will have passed between seasons 3 and 4, and one could see a whole expanding, shrinking universe. All the secondary characters are leads of their own show, according to Lawrence, and that's one of the reasons why the show works. I don't think that means he's planning spin-offs, but if he is, I'm here for it. They're still writing season 4, so no telling when the show will next light up the screen. Something creepy and somewhat frenetic is headed to Apple TV. The Cupertino streamer issued a press release last week promoting the darkly comedic thriller Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed. According to the release, the show follows a newly divorced mom as she falls down a dangerous rabbit hole of blackmail, murder, and youth soccer. Convinced she witnessed a crime while simultaneously struggling through a custody battle and an identity crisis, she begins her own investigation, one that could unravel a greater conspiracy, while also holding the keys to rebuilding her family and sense of self. Tatiana Maslany plays the lead, which honestly ought to be enough for anybody. 10 half-hour episodes are in the can. The first 2 hit Apple TV on Wednesday, the 20th of May. The teaser is up now on YouTube. And finally today, if you're in the Los Angeles area next weekend or the weekend after, Apple TV's got stuff for you to do. Deadline says the Cupertino streamer is holding an interactive fan experience for a number of its shows, including Margot's Got Money Troubles, The Morning Show, Pluribus, Shrinking, Slow Horses, Your Friends and Neighbors, and others. According to Deadline, the event will include special exhibits and displays that will allow guests to get close to their favorite shows. Guests will also have shot on iPhone opportunities with all new Pro camera features, and will have the opportunity to customize sweatshirts and tote bags with their favorite Apple TV show. Happening at the Westfield Century City Mall, the event is free and open to the public. It'll run Thursday through Sunday next weekend and the weekend after, from noon to 10 p.m. I know I was just off last week, but something's come up. We have a sort of surprise family thing that needs taken care of. Nothing bad, but it is going to pull me away for a couple of days. That means no show for Monday, though we should be back in full swing next Tuesday. macOS Ken, brought to you by me, and sponsored by Clean My Mac, keeping Macs running smoothly since 2008. Try 7 days free and use my code MacOSKen20 for 20% off at clnmy.com/MacOSKen. This show is also sponsored by OneSkin, a new standard for your skin. Try it now with 15% off using code MacOSKen at oneskin.co/MacOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can find me on Mastodon, macOSKen at mastodon.social. You can also send me an email, info@macosken.com. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Cha.